You have questions. We have updates. We've got lots of information to go over. Here we go. Good day, everyone, and welcome to episode number 117 to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
And I'm Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck.
We have got one of the most powerful set of partners that is available today. Listen to these crew. Listen to this lineup. The Green Acres Foundation. We have questions from you for the crew from the Green Acres Foundation. We're going to hear more from them in just a few minutes. Wassum Red Angus, their sale is coming up. Jungle Shorthorn Farm, their sale is going on pretty much as we speak. The Bred for Balance sale from Clear Springs Cattle Company. Schnabel Ranch Simmentals. Keller's Broken Heart Ranch. Pharmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange, and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Allied Genetic Resources, Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com. We've got some more updates from Mark Vanzi, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler. Bull sale season is officially upon us, so going forward, at least a little bit in each and every episode here going forward for the next, I'm going to say the next month or two is going to be bull buying tips and tricks, bull selling tips and tricks. We're going to have sale reports, the sale calendar. We're going to have updates, a number of breeds that we're going to cover. So, dear Beck.
Yes.
What would you say is the count of sale books and catalogs that we have received? It's not even February yet. And what do you say? What do you think the count is?
I'm surprised
50?
You are even bringing this up, and you even wanted to go down that road of how many are on the counter.
The pile.
I would say, we're pretty deep at like a couple of dozen already.
And it doesn't help that I love to pour over every single line, every single piece of data.
You dive right
analyze
into the numbers.
Everything and try
Yes,
to figure everything out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, over the next few months, we're going to be bringing you lots and lots of information when it comes to bull selling and bull buying. We're going to try to help you in any way that we can. So would you stick around here? I've got a busy episode. Help me produce today, would you please?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Y'all have been asking for some information on some bred heifers, bred cows. Here's what I've got for y'all. Heading to Harriet Livestock, Harriet, South Dakota, the northern part of South Dakota. Talking about some bred heifers to start out with. These are blacks, these are reds, black white face, and red white face. Don't know anything about who they're bred to. I just got weights on them. So the lightest weight bred heifers are right around that 11 and a quarter all the way, 10 and a quarter all the way up to 11 and a half. The range on the breds, 1,700 up to 22. Not bad at all. On to the bred cows from Harriet, South Dakota. These are blacks, they're reds, they're black white faces, they're red white faces. The range on these broken mouth cows all the way to the young cows, the 3s and 4s. Again, I do not know how they are bred, but just broken mouth cows all the way to the young ones, the 3s to 4s. Here's the range. 12 and a quarter on the bred cows, all the way up to 17. Crew, y'all asked a lot of questions, and we get them answered. We've got more with the Ranch It Up Radio Show right after this. Can I interest you in live calves this winter and spring? How about getting rid of scours? I've talked about Pharmatan from Imogene Ingredients before, and I'm bringing it up now because your cows need to have Pharmatan in their system 90 days pre-calving to help eliminate scours. Pharmatan is now on my team of experts, so if you need some more information or have questions, just get a hold of me. You can head online to pharmatanusa.com. You can look up Pharmatan on Facebook and Imogene Ingredients, or call 515-745-1639. What is better than 1? 3. 3 powerful outfits coming together for one need-to-attend production sale. Flitty Simmentals, Schnabel Ranch Simmentals, and the Lazy J-Bar Ranch. Black and red, Simmental, Sim-Angus, and Red Angus. Saturday, February 18th at Hub City Livestock in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Catalogs and videos online at DV Auction. And for more information, head to Facebook at Schnabel Ranch Simmentals or online at srsims.com.
Every week we hear from one of our great partners with updates, info, schedules, reports, and everything in between when it comes to buying and selling livestock and hay online and private treaty. Livestockmarket.com. On Facebook, too.
Wassum Red Angus, one of the diamonds in the rough in the Red Angus business. Join us Thursday, February 16th at the Wick Sale Facility in Richardson, North Dakota. Catalogs online at wassumredangus.com and on Facebook. Powerful, profitable, and practical Red Angus cattle. You know the way they should be. Neogen, the partner you need.
We are very deep with providing genomic testing. We are very involved in biosecurity and animal safety. If you have questions or concerns, contact your animal health distributor. Contact us directly. Go to neogen.com. We're more than happy to help.
Cattle Battle.
The Ranch It Up radio show, as much information as we can pack into a 30-minute program as possible. Now, last week we visited with Michael Cox and Chad Bittler, the Director of Agriculture and the Director of Research, respectively, for the Green Acres Foundation, which is just about 20 minutes north of Cincinnati, Ohio, and located on the northern edge of fescue country. Now, the sole purpose of Green Acres is to be a nonprofit education and research farm, but they're putting tremendous emphasis on sustainability and regenerative agriculture, and I will say with tremendous success. Now, for example, like a complete grass-fed beef system and genetics that work in that program, intensive grazing practices in which the cattle become the harvesters. Be sure to go into our archives to listen to last week's program and get all caught up on the information because we really go in depth with them. Now, gentlemen, welcome back. Today is Q&A, and we have a few questions from listeners we need to address. First question, how do those grasses hold up in a drought situation when there's a lack of moisture out there? Are they still able to maintain their nutritional value at those different times of the year?
The drought component is huge. The root system of these native warm seasons can get to like 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot deep. So even in drought conditions, because the root system is massive underneath, they're able to compete really well, and they're able to forage and source water and still thrive very, very well. There's research out of University of Tennessee that even in some of their bad drought years, when the fescue and everything and all the cool seasons are way slowed down, the native warm seasons, we're still producing 4 and 5 ton an acre, even in very bad local drought conditions. So from a sustainability and a risk management of drought, the native warm seasons are definitely a winner there.
Let's take into consideration these are native plant species, so they are well adapted to the extremes that our environment can throw at them. Whereas, a lot of our cool season species are European species that we've brought over, and they don't experience those same types of extremes that we may see, the really heavy rains followed by the really extended periods of drought. So these are well adapted. And the other thing I will say too, and even though you didn't ask this, I think it's important to mention, they're also adapted to, poorer soils as well. So some of the best establishment that I've seen are in areas that are compacted, that have limited soil nutrient availability. And the reason is because they'll do, of course they're going to do great if you add some N and some P to them, but they're going to do just fine if you don't. So everything else that requires that stuff is not going to compete as well. So these do just fine, and actually they establish well. And, that's one of the beauties when we're establishing these. We're not putting any kind of nutrients on them. So that's more dollars in our pocket.
Right.
And they're gonna do just fine. They're gonna come on, and we're got a well adapted stand of highly nutritious forage.
Okay, next question is, what has been the rate of gain on cattle grazing on your warm season grasses?
Steers are doing over 2 pounds a day, 2.5 pounds a day when they're on the native warm season grasses. And research from University of Kentucky and University of Tennessee is showing big differences on their trials. I think they had 0.8 pounds of gain on fescue and 2 pounds of gain on big blue stem native grasses. So keeping that summer gain on the feeders and the stockers here on farm is very, very important.
This next question, let me just kind of paraphrase it. What is carcass quality like for your grass-fed beef?
There's been a good focus on carcass quality on the genetic side of things for the last number of years here. So the majority of our steers and heifers are grading high choice. And at the minute, our focus for the next couple of years will be trying to increase the marbling capacity on the carcasses. So we want to push as much as possible into the prime category. But at the minute, we're getting the majority of carcasses into high choice. So the taste and the flavor and the marbling and fat is is very good coming off a grass situation.
Michael Cox and Chad Bittler with the Green Acres Foundation. Gentlemen, thanks again for coming in and explaining those concepts just a tick more, answering listener questions. And yes, those genetics that they are using, that they're talking about, they are for sale. There is breeding stock that is available, so head to green-acres.org for more information, or you can get a hold of us here at the Ranch It Up headquarters at any time to answer more questions. Here's a reminder and a little bit more about their program. It's not every day that you find something so, well, natural that works. Green Acres Angus genetics are just that. Despite market trends and fads of breeding large-frame cattle, Green Acres has remained true to its focus, breeding medium-framed, fertile cattle that perform on a 100% grass-fed and finished diet. These genetics produce efficient cattle that turn grass into high-choice and prime carcasses. To learn more, visit green-acres.org. Now it's on to livestockmarket.com, a tremendous success for buyers and sellers in 2022. If you haven't used or browsed livestockmarket.com, I highly recommend that you do so. Mark Vanzi is with us today, and congratulations, Mark, on a year well done. Again, a tremendous success for buyers and sellers last year. Let's talk about this year. What is coming up new for 2023?
Sure. So last year, in 2022, it was a lot of mixed auctions. There'd be sheep on the same sale as there would be cattle, as there would be horses. And that's great and all. But I think it works better for the sellers and for the buyers if they know what to look at on what weeks they should be paying attention to. So what we did was go to a more structured schedule, like you said. And what we'll be doing in 2023 is all class cattle auctions will be the first and third Wednesday of every month. And then the second Wednesday, that'll be a small stock sale, small livestock, so sheep, goats, pigs. And then the fourth Wednesday of every month will be the regular monthly horse auction. Now, it's important to know anybody that wants to sell on there, you still need to get us the listing, whatever that means, pictures, videos, information. We still have to have that 2 weeks before so that we can get it published, get it in the print publications, get it out there so that, folks know it's coming. That's how you line your bidders up.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, okay, hold on. I'm going to jump there. You said get it into your print publications, my friend. Tell us, what's that about?
Well, yeah, those probably a lot of your listeners are familiar with the Tractor House publications, the Tractor House magazine, or the Auction Time magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So if they've seen those, we're going to be coming out with a livestock market and equine market joint publication. There'll be one issue, volume 1, issue 1. That'll be getting ready to drop here very, very soon. You may get it direct in the mail if you have already listed or sold cattle through us. Otherwise, you can pick it up anywhere that you pick up the Tractor House magazine. So if you're getting that at the feed store or the gas station, whatever, you'll be able to find it there. Or if you're going to any of the major cattle shows that happen in the spring of every year, NCBA, Texas Cattle Raisers. If you go to any of those shows, make sure you swing by the booth and you'll be able to see that one too.
From where we started here a year ago having conversations, I think it's safe to say that livestockmarket.com has grown exponentially.
Yeah, it has outpaced my forecast for it. It was really funny. I was just talking about this I had a meeting this morning with a bunch of our cattle marketing reps. We've got a long ways to go, but to look at how far that we've come, last year in January, we sold a total of 20 head on the online auction. And that was just getting started. That was about the first one, right? And we'll probably break 1,000 head in January already this year, just on the online auction. And so it's been really neat, and it's been really fun to talk with the producers that we've helped and guys that we're kind of feeling a niche for. We've done really, really well for smaller producers that are looking for an alternative to their traditional marketing tactics. Mm-hmm. But they haven't, one of the roles that we're really hitting home runs in is for smaller producers that don't have a full lot load of cattle, and they're interested and they want to sell cattle on an online auction. They understand the exposure that brings. They understand the buyers that come to an online auction, but they don't have a load of cattle. So that disqualifies them from a lot of other online auctions that are out there. And we've done gangbusters selling 13 head of 400 weight steers, and you get guys that they're loving what that's doing for them. And it's country cattle. So they take the pictures, they take the videos, they upload them, they sell, buyer writes them a check directly and then comes and gets them, and it's really opened up a whole new door for those guys that they didn't have before.
Well, it's given them the opportunity to be able to market on a national level instantaneously. It really has.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's easy for them. It's not a big deal. That's the big thing. I was just talking to a producer in eastern Nebraska the other day. You guys will be able to see his steers up on the auction here very soon. And he said, well, what do I all need to do? And I said, tonight when you're feeding, go take like 6 pictures. And I said, get 1 video running your steers down the fence. And I said, do you got to wait on them? And he said, well, no, I can get one. I said, that's good. I said, load up a trailer, head to town, just weigh them real quick. So we got a base weight to go off of. And that's all I need. I was just really impressed with how fast and easy that is. On an average day around here, we will upload, and we're still really in a growth phase of the whole product. So the rate that we're trending at right now is about every day 300 head get added, new head. And that's everything from bulls to full pot loads of steers to stock cows, everything. But every day we'll add about 300 head, and every day about 200 head come off as sold. That's kind of the rate that we've been growing at. But yeah, to your point, every day that you log on there, there's new stuff.
Mark Van Zee with Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com. Crew, use them. That is the purpose of us having our partners, bringing you the best solutions, the best options, the best information, the best genetics, all of it. And we have the best partners in the business, period. Now, y'all love your numbers. I know you love your numbers. We've got the numbers. Kirk and the numbers up next. The Ranch It Up Radio Show. We'll be right back. The Keller Broken Heart Ranch invites you to come see high-performing Simmental and Sim Angus genetics Thursday, March 2nd, 1 p.m. at the ranch south of Mandan, North Dakota. Selling 120 of the industry's highest-performing and profitable Simmental and Sim Angus bulls with volume discounts, along with 80 outstanding replacement heifers. View the catalog and videos online at kbhrsimmental.com. Can't make the sale? No problem. We're broadcasting live at dvauction.com. It's valuable genetics worth waiting for, and we'll see you March 2nd, 1 p.m. Central Time at the Keller Broken Heart Ranch. Before you purchase your next set of bulls or females, remember this. The seed stock business is about genetic improvement and customer service. Allied Genetic Resources understands this as well as anyone. Marty Ropp with Allied.
That's our charge as seed stock producers is people look at us and you've got to make genetics that work better for us. We see that charge, we understand that charge, and we're going to use all the tools we can to get there.
Allied Genetic Resources, where the mission is commercial customer success. Period.
Travis Wolf here with Clear Springs Cattle Company. All are invited to the annual Bred for Balance sale on February 10th in Starbuck, Minnesota. We will be offering 200 head of premium Simmental and Sim Angus genetics, 130 yearling bulls and 70 females. Bulls carry a 3-year breeding soundness warranty, and cost share trucking is available on all cattle. If you're in the market for profitable beef genetics that can move your herd in the right direction, check out bredforbalance.com and be sure to join us on February 10th in Starbuck.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for keeping it tuned right here to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It's that time when we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated. Kirk, let's talk numbers. What's going on?
All right, Tigger, we'll get right into it. As of Friday, January 20th, March feeders closed the week at $180.92.5. That's down $1.87.5 on the week, with the CME feeder index at 177.03, down $5. So that means cash loss $5 on the average this week, leaving the basis at a negative 89.5 cents versus January feeder futures. We did have a cattle on feed. It came out at 97.1 on feed versus expectations of 96.8. Placed was 92.0% versus expectations of 91.0. And marketed was 93.9% versus expectations of 94.7. I would call it a slightly bearish, just marginally bearish report versus expectations, but with the sell-off the feeders had going into the report, I would expect the market to be fairly happy with those numbers. February live cattle closed the week at 156.60. That's down $1.25 on the week, with cash trading 155 to 157 in all areas. The 5-area weighted average on steers was down $2.54 at 155.07, leaving the basis a negative 155 versus February futures. Weekly slaughter was 646,000. That's down 15,000 week over week and 7,000 more than this week last year. Choice boxes were down $6.71, closing the week at 271.72, with our spread, or the difference between choice and select, losing another $5.10, narrowing to $15.29. And again, to remind your readers, I'm concerned about the spread as an indication that consumers are switching to cheaper cuts of meat. To wrap this up, March corn closed the week at $6.77, up 1 1/4 cents on the week.
When you say a concern over consumers moving towards cheaper cuts of meat, okay, we're going into a meatflation, they say, and everything is costing a little bit more. But are we seeing that happen, Kirk, that consumers are starting to trickle over to cheaper cuts of meat, or is there still kind of that strong push that consumers are staying on beef and buying beef?
That's a very good question, Tigger, and I should probably define that. The demand for beef is very stable. And there'll be some switch to chicken and pork, but in my opinion, anyway, there's very much a limit to how much pork and how much chicken the consumer is going to eat. So they're still going to, make beef a large part of their diet. What they will do is they'll shift within the spectrum of beef. As prices go up, they'll shift from the high cuts of beef to the cheaper cuts of beef, more hamburger, more roast, et cetera, et cetera.
And those people wanting some more information can do so by subscribing to Kirk's free newsletter, which is where we go into a lot more information and a lot more details. That's a good place just to get things started. So you can text the word cattle, CATTLE, to 33777.
Mark Van Zee with LivestockMarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, February 1st, we're having a special seed stock bull online auction. Bidding opens at just $100 a head. No reserves. All lots will sell. 27 bulls, as well as replacement heifers, cows, calves, and some semen. Angus, Red Angus, Simmental, Shorthorn, Shorthorn Plus, Santa Gertrudis, Solares, Devon, and Bronzy, all represented. Featured lots include 13 registered Red Angus bulls, selling in individual lots, mostly virgin, coming 2-year-old, semen and trick tested from Schonenberger Landon Cattle in Ola, Kansas. 4 registered Shorthorn and Shorthorn Plus bulls, coming 1-year-olds, black, white, and red roans to choose from some of the top genetics in the Shorthorn world, from Thirsty Dirt Ranch in Worland, Wyoming. 3 Angus bulls, 2 seasoned breeders, and 1 coming yearling from Sunshine Stables in Sealy, Texas. 2 registered Santa Gertrudis bulls, a son of Red Doc Trump and a grandson of Red Doc Cy, semen and trick tested from Solace Ranch in Bosque, New Mexico. 2 registered Simmental bulls, 1 red, 1 black, both coming 2-year-olds, great bloodlines. Both will be semen and trick tested from Wilson Farms in Paris, Illinois. 2 registered Red Devon bulls, both proven 5-year-olds with excellent temperaments, great feet, 100% forage developed from Abiding Acres Farm in Delavan, Wisconsin. All class lots include 20 Sim Angus Simmental stockers, steers and heifers mixed, average 580 pounds, out of registered Sim cows with Angus influence, bunk broke for feed, veterinarian owned, on a bulletproof health program from Wirtz Cattle Company in Valley, Nebraska. 7 Angus, Charolais, and Red Angus cows, average 1,100 pounds, 3 to 7 months bred, to a Black Angus bull from Wilson Farms in Sparta, Tennessee. Bidding opens at just $100 a head, $1 a pound on the calf. Bidding's currently live, but all lots will sell Wednesday, February 1st. Got cattle to sell? Regular online cattle auctions the first and third Wednesday of every month on LivestockMarket.com and AuctionTime.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
Before we go, a big tip of the hat goes out to all those behind the scenes. We know that bull sale season is right around the corner, and there have been many individuals that are burning the candle at both ends, whether they're trying to get bulls clipped, videoed, edited that video, plus then those that are putting together those sale catalogs that are starting to show up in the mail. They are against the wire. There's
You're
deadlines.
talking deadlines. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of hard
and
work.
a lot of those people that they're working on multiple sales all at the same time. So
Oh,
there's a
yes,
sale in 2 weeks,
exactly.
and 3 weeks, and 3.5 weeks, and 4 weeks. So they're juggling a lot all at the same time.
So there you have it, a big tip of the hat to all of you, and you've been doing a terrific job, and we look forward to seeing your catalog soon.
And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thank you from our crew to yours, Michael Cox and Chad Bittler. One more time with the Green Acres Foundation, Mark Vanzi with LivestockMarket.com, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, the Boss Lady, that would be you.
A big thank you to our partners, the Green Acres Foundation, Wassum Red Angus, Jungle's Shorthorn Farm, the Bread for Balance sale from Clear Springs Cattle Company, Schnabel Ranch Semitoles, Keller's Broken Heart Ranch, Pharmatan and Imogene Ingredients, the Tri-State Livestock News, the Farmer and Rancher Exchange and the Fence Post, Westway Feed Products, Allied Genetic Resources, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, RFD TV, the Cowboy Channel, and Wrangler.
And crew, so glad you all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and social media at Ranch It Up Show. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text us 24/7 at 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week, where it's always Tigger approved.
Stay ranchy and ranch it up.